afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a pick a pile love reading for April the 14th and 15th. As you can see, I have 7 decks here ready, which I will use to create 3 piles for you to choose from, so that you can receive your love messages again for April the 14th and the 15th, 2021. Okay, I will start. And as always, I will speed it up so you don't have to watch this part. Okay, see you in a bit. Let's assign some crystals. So we have an Orchid Calcite. So sparkly for pile 1, and we have a red Goldstone, also quite sparkly day, and I have a yellow Citrine here for pile 3. Okay, so we have pile number 1 with the Orchid Calcite, pile 2 with the red Goldstone, and pile 3 with the yellow Citrine. Okay, so if you selected pile number 1, this is your reading. So you received the orange calcite. Beautiful. I'll interpret that for you after. So let's pull your cards and see what you received. Now remember, this is a love reading for April 14 and 15, 2021. Okay. Okay, so pile number 1, for your love reading, what I can see here for you is that you've reached a place where you are really understanding what you're interested in as far as a partner. You have been really working on understanding yourself and trying to really discover what is the best match for you. So pile 1, you have definitely been doing some work on love in your mind. You are thinking about what kind of partner you want to attract. You are definitely looking at the past here. There is some past energy coming up for you here, but it looks like you are trying to understand the past. So it looks like maybe you are looking into some past relationships and trying to understand the wisdom that can come to you from understanding some of these past relationships. It looks like you're questioning motives. You're asking why. Why did certain things happen the way they happened? You know, and you are being guided to understand the wisdom and then release it. You know, you are not being encouraged to stay in the past. Now, you also received the Sun card here from your tarot, and it really is a time here to move forward. Okay, so the investigations that you've done so far have given you some good wisdom about what you're looking for in a partner. And it's really helped you to sort of tap into that masculine energy, to put the lines in. You know, I always say that the feminine energy is the water and the masculine energy is the geometry, right? So the water flows where it wants and the masculine energy comes in to put the lines so that the water is directed, right? Otherwise it's flowing all over the place. And so it's interesting here because you also received in the wisdom card, you can see there's a lot of flow here, right? So the investigations that you had looked into when you were looking at your past relationships, you really were, like I said, questioning some motives here. Like, why did things go down the way they did? You know, how did we get to certain outcomes in past love relationships? And then, you know, Spirit's really guiding you to continue doing that, but at the same time to, you know, once you've reached the point of wisdom here, once you understand stuff about yourself as far as the relationship goes, you know, and you've looked deep enough, potentially into the motives. I mean, this wisdom card can really suggest that you need to dive deep, right? You need to go further in the investigation. But I'm seeing here, pile one, that you've probably done that already, because you've also received the why card, which really is a time where we are looking at questioning motives, right? And we're trying to understand the why behind things. Why am I feeling like this? Why did I say that? Why did I have that reaction? Why did I feel triggered? And so as you do your discovery of all these things, Spirit really wants you to sink down into the depths, right? Like surround yourself with this. Really go into it and look to find out the wisdom behind this stuff that has gone on in the past. And to also keep in mind that things are not always as they seem, right? So when you ask yourself why, really ask why. Really look at all the options here. Don't just say, well, it's because of this. Like, it might not be as it appears. Now, once that investigation is completed, pile one, you are definitely being directed here in the Let It Go card to add love, forgiveness, compassion, and release it. Okay? So, once you figure out what happened and you really take the wisdom from that experience and integrate it, you're being asked to move forward here with the Sun card and also with the Let It Go card. But the Let It Go card really does add a layer to the Sun card here to suggest that it's time to also forgive. It's not only time to let go, but to forgive as well, and to let go with forgiveness in mind. Now, you also received the World card, pile one. So the World card really talks about a time of integration. So that makes sense, because you're really delving deep into understanding things and really looking at things to see the deeper picture so that you can understand things, let them go with forgiveness, and then really integrate the whole experience to move forward. I mean, you've received the Sun and the World, and you also received the card Inner Riches. So that really does want to point you back to the self once this whole inquiry series or sequence is complete, so that you can really see that the true riches, the true identity of yourself, really everything you need to sort of uncover anything lies within, which is certainly a beautiful message for you, pile one. Now, the animal spirit card you received here is the Rhino spirit, which is a lovely message of overcoming any obstacles, okay? So with the Rhino, what do you think of when you think of a Rhino? You think very strong, you think very powerful, could potentially bust through any obstacle with its strength, right? We marvel at the ability of a rhinoceros. They can seem to shatter through anything with the force that they possess. And this card is really here to remind you that when an obstacle appears to prevent you from getting something that you desire, it's actually meant to just keep pushing you, not to stop you, right? Like if you encounter obstacles in your mind while you're doing your, why inquiry as to looking at the past, because you are really ready for a new start here, pile one. You are really ready for a new love. You've been working on yourself. You've been looking inwards to understand certain things from the past. You've been integrating all of those experiences, and you are moving forward into a new day. And in doing so, you are being asked to remember that you can overcome any obstacle, and that all of your inner strength is inside already. You have an abundance of inner riches here that you're being reminded of. Okay, what a beautiful reading for you, pile one. I hope that's been helpful on your discovery of your new partner. It looks like you're really working on it. Pile one, I'd say that you are entering into a new relationship very soon, if you haven't already just entered into one. Now, the stone I selected for you, as you remember, is the Orchid Calcite. Now, this stone is really, really about balancing emotions, okay? So the calcite itself, is a very healing stone, very energizing and cleansing. And the orange or orchid calcite is known to remove karmic hooks, which is a fascinating choice for this pile because this stone really does help you integrate new ideas. Integration is mentioned here in the World card. And, looking at things that are not as they appear was mentioned in the Wisdom card. So through your inquiries of the past pile one, you are being given some really beautiful messages from Spirit here to, have a loving and forgiving, compassionate eye as you go into the past to understand past relationships, and also to know that things are not always as they appear, and that any obstacles that come your way, you can certainly manage, and you can do so by remembering that all your everything you need is already within you. And I really do see that you want to move forward here, and that you're being asked to let go with love and forgiveness. And that does, require a balancing in the emotion, which is the orange calcite's primary effect, is to really balance the emotions and bring into alignment the insights and creativity that you discover through your, self journey, your inner journey through self-discovery. Really does help integrate all of that. Wow, that's lovely. Thank you so much for joining me for pile one. If this has resonated for you and you would like a reading with more detail, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is in the description below. So if you selected pile number 2, this is your reading. You received the red goldstone, which is a very beautiful stone. I will interpret that for you after the reading. Okay, let's get your cards out and see what's going on. Okay, pile 2. Let's see here. You, pile 2. Remember, this is a love reading for April the 14th and 15th. Okay, pile 2. What I can see for you here, pile 2, is that right now you are feeling kind of stuck. You're feeling kind of stuck, and you feel like you are at the mercy of the ever-changing energy of the universe. You're not feeling particularly happy. You're feeling like you'd like to be very happy, but that there is sort of a story going on in your mind that's keeping you from being happy. You're telling yourself a story that is limiting your happiness, and it's something that is blocking you also. You're feeling very stuck in a situation where you're not really willing to accept the changing elements in your life. There are some things in your life that are changing. It could involve you feeling very sensitive emotionally right now, not necessarily understanding the reason for that feeling coming over you. But, you're definitely looking to feel very happy. But there is a story that you keep telling yourself here. There is a story that keeps running through your mind, and you need to change this story. You need to look at this situation with a different eye. You need to look at it as a gift. Whatever this story is that you keep telling yourself, it's got you feeling really emotional, and it has something to do with some changes coming up for you that you haven't really been able to accept yet. And I'm sensing that it's because you don't feel confident. You're not feeling very confident right now. Interesting. So things in your life are changing, pile 2. There's some stuff coming up for you right now that's got you feeling really emotional, and uncertain as to where this is all coming from. You're feeling polarized. You're not feeling integrated right now. You are really searching for something to bring in some joy. Your emotional state right now is saying, I'm not happy. Okay. You are telling yourself a story that you have told yourself many times about who you are. And, you're not believing in yourself. You're looking at yourself almost through the eyes of the past. Like you're judging yourself. in a way that's not really coherent or consistent with the development of your life here. Like the Wheel of Fortune card really suggests that things are changing in your life and that you're going through a new cycle, and you're feeling really emotional about it and also really torn, like, you know, and this is a love reading. So that really says to me that maybe in the past, your love relationships have ended in a certain way. And maybe, you know, you've just never felt like these relationships fulfilled you. Okay. And so the tides have shifted. Maybe you've just met someone, pile 2. Maybe you have just met someone and, you know, maybe you're sabotaging it a little bit with this never-ending story instead of feeling really grateful and abundant and really recognizing who you are in this situation and believing in yourself. I'm really getting the idea here, pile 2, that you don't have a lot of confidence in your ability to create happiness for yourself, and that this story will change. You don't have a lot of confidence there. You're really feeling like, nope, this is the same old story. And Spirit's really asking you here to tap into your inner abundance that it seems like maybe you have sort of forgotten about a little bit here. Okay, so we really need to remember that everything in life is designed to teach us something, okay? So even when things may have gone a way that doesn't make sense, and maybe it's happened several times, that could really be the Wheel of Fortune trying to teach you something that you're not completely integrating. And so you're really being asked to be grateful. There's something that you need to be grateful for. And it could be this experience that you keep telling yourself maybe was negative. Or maybe you tell yourself a story about who you are in this experience. And it's one where you are taking the role of the victim instead of trying to see that there was something there for you to learn about yourself, not something to break you, but something to really wake you up into believing in yourself. And, you know, the Wheel of Fortune card is interesting because it's sort of, you know, the Wheel of Fortune is it's got a job, right? I mean, its job is to constantly keep you evolving into, the next iteration or the next version of yourself. And so when we see the Wheel of Fortune card come up, it's really telling us that there's something coming. There's a change happening, right? It could be a sudden change. It's up to you as to how you're going to perceive this change, right? It's always up to us how we perceive it. We can't predict things, but if you perceive that, you know, all relationships are going to end the same way, like the never-ending story card suggests, and that you'll always be in separation, like you're not going to find unity with anybody, if that's sort of the idea you have in your mind about yourself, you're really being asked to change that up. You're being asked to believe in yourself again and to understand whatever lessons you need to understand, because things could really shift suddenly. I have a feeling, pile 2, that you're going to meet someone. It seems to me, pile 2, that you might meet someone and it's going to be a sudden meeting, and you're going to need to really change the storyline in your mind about how all relationships end. You know, you really need to start believing in yourself and being grateful and feeling that sense of inner abundance. Okay. Now, the stone I selected for you was the red goldstone, which is actually a perfect selection for this reading as well, because it really is a great motivator and encourages self-confidence. It's a root chakra stone, so it's very helpful in helping you feel your true sense of identity and grounding, right? I don't know if you can see how sparkly it is. These goldstones are just beautiful, and the red goldstone is one of my favorites for using in meditation on grounding. and stabilizing myself, really connecting to my identity and encouraging the development of self-confidence and belief in yourself. You know, this stone is an incredible motivator. So your reading, pile 2, really suggests that it's time to change the story. It's time to flip the script on whatever your previous love relationships have been like, to find some happiness here. You're on your way to happiness. The Wheel of Fortune and happiness together really suggests that you're going to find that joy that you're looking for in a partner. As you can see, there's 2 dolphins on that card, and you are polarized, which is another 2-element card. And so this polarization should turn to unity if you can really change the storyline in your head and to really look at believing in yourself again, you know, and to find that gratefulness for love and to feel abundant again, and to really, like, this card is about gratitude, but whenever I think about gratitude, I always just think about being mindful. And when you're being mindful, you can be mindful of the stories that you're telling yourself as well. You know, you can really be consciously thinking about, what is the storyline running through my head right now? Is it making me happy? Is it making me feel polarized? Where do you want to be? You know, you got to change the storyline. You got to change it up. Okay. Now, if this reading has resonated for you, pile 2, and you would like a personal reading to clarify anything in more detail, my email is in the description box below. Thank you, pile 2. Okay, so if you selected pile number 3, this is your reading. You received the yellow citrine, which I will interpret for you at the end of the reading. Okay, let's get your cards out. This is a love reading for April the 14th and 15th, 2021. This is pile 3. Okay. Wow. Pile 3, what have you been up to? Pile 3, you are going to meet your soulmate. You are on the path, pile 3. You have been really working on your messaging to the universe. You have really opened up, and you are really looking at things differently. Wow. You've got 2 cards that are 41, a higher view and soulmates. Beautiful. You've got lots of interesting messages here. Wow. Okay, so pile 3, it looks like you're in a place right now where you are changing. You are going through something massive, and you know what it is because you've been asking for it. You have been corresponding with the universe about something that you are trying to bring into form here. You have a soulmate for sure, but more than that, you're looking for some sort of inner peace in love. And also you're trying to understand greater universal lessons as you rebirth. You are changing completely. Now, I see that this was brought in by something in love that at first glance you thought was something here to hurt you, but then it changed you. You went through a relationship that woke you up. It woke you up. I would guess this relationship was not a happy one. You went through a relationship that, you know, the word abusive is coming to mind, and I'm not sure if that's an exaggeration for anyone listening, but I'm sensing here that you were in a situation that was not for your higher good. And when you were in it, you really didn't understand why this was happening to you. Why was this happening? And you really worked through it. You got out and you started to do some self-work that really led to a new you. And as a result of that new you, the universe has been paying attention to your change in intention and your change in mindset and your change in perception. And you have been learning a lot of inner truths about yourself and universal truths about who we are, and that we're all one, and that, you know, we are all pieces of consciousness uniquely expressing ourselves to learn about ourselves, but that we are all connected. And that brought you a lot of peace, and it's going to bring in your soulmate. If it hasn't already, pile 3, you could be entering into or are currently just starting into a soulmate relationship that you manifested, man. You really manifested this. And it may have been brought on by a situation that felt very soul sucking and soul denying and stuck feeling. And at first you thought, why is this happening? You know, and then when you understood, it elevated you. It brought you to a higher view. I'll start showing you some of these cards. Okay, so whatever this relationship was in the past, it really did feel at first like it was here to break you. You were not sure, but it awoke you. You know, this led to this. Something in the past, you had wasp spirit here saying to you that sometimes life stings, but you know, you woke up because of that sting. Something in your past love really helped you to see who you are. It brought in the Hierophant here with some universal truths, and the Moon card here suggesting that you have had a rebirth, that you are going through a new cycle, that you are being reborn into a new person. And that has really brought you a lot of inner peace, and it's also brought in your soulmate. Now, pile 3, I just want to remind you that this all happened because of your positive intention and correspondence with the universe and your change in perspective on this situation. Okay, so whatever happened in the past, it truly wasn't designed to break you, and now you understand that. And now I would guess that you're feeling incredibly grateful for whatever that experience was, because it brought in a soulmate. And, you know, your correspondence with the universe really helped with that. It really, really did. We have the Hierophant and the Moon card, which I just want to signify here, or highlight for you, that these two cards together really do suggest an awakening of some kind. So, you know, you've really awakened to the fact that you are truly, you know, part of a collective, a bigger collective, and that, you know, the idea of you and me and us and them has sort of dissolved for you. You are doing so much work on really understanding how to guide others, and really understanding that you're changing, and that whatever it was that brought about this change in you, you know, you've been able to become peace with it. You have reached a point where you understand it for what it was, as far as lesson, in order to show you a different perspective. And it's beautiful. This new perspective card is the same number, different decks, but same number. And both cards tying together really suggest that this higher perspective that you took is what led to manifesting this soulmate through your correspondence with the universe. That is just gorgeous. What a beautiful reading for you, pile 3. Now, the Citrine stone was the one that I selected for you. And this is really a stone that helps us reverse self-destructive behavior. It assists with that calming inner peace that you've managed to achieve here. And it really helps us flow our emotions and become emotionally balanced, which I'm feeling that you have. You know, the Moon card really suggests a lot of flow has taken place here, and that you've done a lot of work to gain inner peace about a situation and truly incorporate the knowledge through a higher perspective, as you can see here with this card, the higher view, as well as through the Hierophant card in tarot. So pile 3, wow, you've done a lot of work to shed some self-destructive patterns in your life. You've really freed yourself from situations that maybe have, you know, stung you, if you will, and you've really understood them for what they are. you've integrated that higher perspective, that higher view, and you have inner peace, and you have manifested a connection with your soulmate. My goodness, what a beautiful reading for you, pile 3. If this reading has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading to achieve more clarity, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is in the description below. Okay, thank you so much, pile 3. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today for this Pick a Pile reading for April 14th and 15th. It's been a pleasure reading for you. And as always, if you are interested in a personal reading, don't hesitate to email me. My email is in the description, energybluerose@gmail.com. And it's always a pleasure to connect with you. Okay, have a wonderful day, guys, and enjoy your love readings for April 14th and 15th. And we'll see you again for some more readings very soon.